breaking the law by having, unsecured servers and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, she's pretty clueless when it comes to that kind of stuff too.
Right. So Trump is up with the blacks in American blacks between anywhere from 12 to 25% going towards the general election. That's more than what Hillary is getting, and the GOP is absolutely shocked and beside themselves with how well Trump is doing with women and blacks and the Hispanics, which the GOP has never been able to get because blacks, Hispanics, and women, whether they know you're a liar or not, they can feel it, and they're all about feeling. They can feel it, and they can smell it. And the GOP, you're a bunch of liars.
And by the way,
people know you're liars.
Right. And if you are a woman out there listening right now, go ahead and sign up for Trumpettes.global. Yes. Apparently, that's a exploding super PAC of women who support Trump, which I think is kind of fascinating because what's the narrative? That women hate Trump. They absolutely despise him. These are all the numbers that are coming out and all this kind of stuff. But, I mean,
Hillary at her campaign rally over the weekend, I'm going to paraphrase it, but I'm going to try and get as close to the quote as possible because it's just absolute lunacy. She said to the crowd, and Trump is doing poorly with women because Trump has no respect for women.
And so, but he does. What is he talking about?
Well, but she has to say that because she is dropping in the polls when it comes to women. Women are running her campaign in 2008 and now 2016. In 2008, she was hands down millions of votes more in 2008. 2016, she is millions of votes down.
Wow. That's
Plus,
not good for her.
She's down in the female vote, and she's being given a run. Bernie Sanders wins again. Sanders wins again.
That was a huge shocker.
She's beside her, so she don't know what to say. Like this dude, this crazy communist is a better choice in the Democrat Party versus the Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, it's funny how the media is burying that fact because we haven't heard much about it since then, about how Bernie won Indiana.
Nobody is talking. Look at the news. Look at the news. What is the news all about? Trump.
Yeah, even now.
The GOP.
That and the anti-Trump movement from the GOP and all this.
And they love to talk about, like, the LA Slimes is still talking about riots and protest. I was listening to local 55 KRC talk news, and in between the news and in between the commercials, they'll come out and say their own things that are going on, and they definitely plugged Never Trump.
And you are listening to SmithRadio.com.
Yes, SmithRadio.com. Follow us on Facebook at Facebook.com/SmithRadio. So I mean, that's the thing, is that they're trying to distract everybody on the negative of Trump, which it didn't work before. Why do they think it's going to work now?
I mean, they got to be sitting in the corner in their little rooms wondering, we got to do something. I mean, the whole thing about, well, it didn't work before. How do you figure it's going to work now? I don't think they have anything ready to go to defeat him. They're just going to have to keep on hacking away on it. Well, look at, there is some precedence for this strategy. When the Democrats decided that they had to destroy George W. Bush, starting in 2003, they had a long way to go. They had a big uphill battle, and they kept hacking away at it and hacking away and hacking away. And after a while, it just became overwhelming. And you know what? By the time he was done with his presidency, 5 years later, from like 2003 all the way until 2008, they destroyed him so completely by then, and it didn't happen overnight.
No, and they literally, it was a grand, 200-foot tall redwood about half a mile long, and that's all they did day in,
They had
day
a
out.
hacksaw. They were trying to go through a
Right.
redwood with a hacksaw.
Right.
And they said, you know what? We're just going to start sawing.
Well, this is what we have? Oh, this is all we have? A hacksaw.
They're not going to not try.
Well, if that's all we got, let's start now.
Yeah, so they started just hacking away at it. And sure enough, by about 2005, 2006, people started getting real sick of George W. Bush because, you know, after a while, you just know that what everybody's saying in the media must be true because they've been saying it for years.
Right.
By the time 2008 comes along, without being opposed, without being debunked with all the negative press, which were largely made up of lies, when Obama came along, it was ready. The public was ready to go for him.
And how did How did George Bush react? How did W react to the media?
Well, he just ignored it.
Crickets.
Yeah, he ignored
Crickets. That is absolutely the wrong thing. That's why they were able to destroy him. Look at what Trump does to the media in their face on the set when they call him out on the set and it's a lie. Trump will turn to them like the time
instantly
last week when he was on the show with Revolto Rivera. Revolto tries to do what he does. He does his spin master stuff, and Trump called him out and said, "Hey, don't try your spin master stuff on me. You with the gold." I think he called him gold spoon in his mouth. He said, "You got this is not a silver spoon. You got the gold spoon."
That's pretty devastating coming from a billionaire.
Right. So, but I mean, when he insults you like that, and it is true, he's not making it up. It's a fact. Revolto got the name from this show because of a listener of ours.
Really?
That referred to him as Revolto. And I said, you know what?
We're going to call him that.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
So, you know, when
He
you
is revolting.
when you get that, you get that. So, okay, let me close out Milo's thoughts on this whole thing real quick, but this will wrap it all up. He goes on to say, Trump's supporters have treated the campaign as one long troll fest. First Jeb, then Marco, and finally Lion Ted. All stumbled and fell before the chaotic power of Trump's troll army. Facing hilarious combinations of in-jokes, YouTube remixes, and Photoshop mashups, Trump's opponents were subjected to nonstop ridicule from the cultural powerhouses of the web. Folks, that's where we are. That's where we are in this day and age. And, you know, I've got older listeners, seasoned veterans, some of the earliest baby boomers listening in and having, you know, complaints. With Trump this, Trump, why does he have to that? Why does he have to keep doing this? Why does he have to keep doing that? Well, the reason why he does it is because it's successful. The reason why he does it is because it works. You may not like the way he's going about doing it, but the way he's going about doing it has become absolutely effective and devastating to anybody who has ever bore the title of professional politician. Professional politician. All these people running for president now have groomed themselves since young childhood that this is where they're going to head, and they're going to tiptoe ever so quietly in the right direction and the wrong direction. I'm going to poll people, see what they feel and think, and then that's what I'm going to do. Hillary originally polled people and said, okay, right, marriage between one man and one woman, because that's what the polls wanted back in the day. She polled people again. They polled that they wanted one man, one woman, Adam and Eve, Adam and Steve. You know, it's just, the list goes on. And so then she goes with that narrative. She is nothing. And when they say Trump is an empty suit, no, wrong, my friends. Hillary is the empty pantsuit in the room.
I believe that.
And we are in a day and age that requires a Donald Trump to do what Donald Trump's doing in order to absolutely obliterate the GOP establishment, elites. Even John McCain this week said, if Trump comes to be the nominee, I guess that might be the end of me. Even McCain said that he's.
When has it not been the end of him?
Right, and
it's always been the end of him.
But McCain is up head to head with a battle of his entire life in Arizona.
Oh,
Might
really?
even lose his seat
to
a woman. To a woman.
What does that mean?
To a woman. Well, we promote women on Smith Radio.
So my thing is well, first of all, that's breaking news to me. I didn't realize that his seat was threatened to be lost.
He is absolutely being threatened, and Paul Ryan is facing a new threat for re-election in Wisconsin.
Wow, could Paul Ryan? Wow,
and he's being taken to task by a business owner who builds custom motorcycles and is tatted up.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
And then he dons on the short sleeves, shows the tats, and then when he's got to, he puts on the suit and tie and you never see him.
Paul Ryan might lose to this guy.
He is a formidable, apparently,
a real threat.
He just launched his first video calling him out, and it's gone viral.
Oh, man, we're going to have to look that up.
Yeah, he's got a woman. It might be his girlfriend, might be his wife. Woman on the backseat of his motorcycle, ready to roll.
So, but McCain's got a threat too?
Yeah, McCain is absolutely being threatened, yes.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked because, man, that would be a huge shakeup. Remember when Eric Cantor lost?
Oh, yeah.
He was, everybody thought he was going to be the next Speaker of the House. The next thing you know, he loses. That was big time.
That was definitely big.
I was worried because I'm thinking, does that hurt the Republican Party? Does that hurt the conservative movement? And apparently it's just a big insurgency. The people are rising up and trying to get rid of the establishment. And I applaud that because I'm sick of it too. Everybody's sick of it.
Her name challenging John McCain is Kelly Ward. She's her growing conservative support against McCain. Yeah, she's definitely.
Yeah, if you're a conservative, you obviously are against McCain.
Dr. Kelly, Kelli, Ward, Ward.
Okay.
She is.
That would be hilarious if she ends up beating him. That would be awesome.
Hotair.com, the title is John McCain in trouble from Kelly Ward?
Is she a Republican?
Yes.
Did they not have their primary already?
Apparently, they're. I don't know how that works.
Because during the general election, he would be up against whoever the Democrat is.
She might be running as independent.
Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting. Just as long as she's not like a Jesse Ventura.
Yeah. And the problem with Ventura is that he ran an independent. He won as an independent. And neither the Republicans nor the Democrats would do anything to work with him. They literally punished the people and the independent party. They punished them by not doing a single thing whatsoever. They were all out to lunch.
And they were out to lunch. But he won anyway. And he's a former Navy SEAL. And he has kind of, I was in the Marine Corps, and I can really relate with the attitude and everything like that.
Right.
Just from our training and just the type of person that ends up joining the Marines and who in the Navy would decide to be a Navy SEAL. Very similar types of attitudes and all that kind of stuff. And in general, it kind of lends itself to the conservative ideology. So we tend to all be... I don't want to use the word all, but, a very high percentage of us end up being conservative, if not right away early on in our 20s and 30s. Certainly by the time we have children, married, and houses and mortgages and all that kind of stuff. That being said, what is Jesse now? Like, he went way over the deep end and turned into kind of like he went kind of libertarian, which is cool because I kind of identify myself as a constitutional libertarian for the most part. But then he just went totally off the deep end and started coming out with all these conspiracy theories. And he almost is like the present day or like an Alex Jones type.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
And
speaking about crazies, it's probably about the last time we'll ever have to talk about this one. But Glenn Beck has just completely lost his ever-loving mind.
He's lost
I have lost so much respect for this man. It is absolute insanity. He came out this week and said, no, My company's not in trouble. Not at all.
Oh, he came. He said that he's up 25%. Remember we talked about that, and you said, well, that.